Happy Saturday, friends. Okay, you guys asked for a story time, and I am trying to be more accountable, more in touch, and I'm trying to give y'all what y'all want in 2025, despite how I may be looking or feeling. So, I posted this photo. Hold on. Let me go back to the photo just to bring those of you who may have been doing productive things this morning. All right, so this picture right here. I posted this photo on Instagram. I mean, on Facebook this morning. Child, why I keep talking about Instagram? On Facebook this morning. And I said that it came up in my phone and it triggered me. Now, that is 100% factual. I was actually going through my phone because today is Petey Pablo's birthday. And Petey is like one of my favorites. So I was going through my phone because I know I have two different pictures with Petey when I first met him and when I interviewed him. So I'm going through the old photos. And I came across this picture and it made me like twitch a little bit. So I was like, ooh. I said, ooh. So I posted the photo because I'm trying to be as transparent with you all as I possibly can in the year of our Lord 2025. So I thought everybody knew why this picture would trigger me. And apparently y'all don't know. Some of y'all know, some of the OG ICC friends and some of the OG friends, my best friends. But some of my new besties don't know. So I guess it's time for a story time. Y'all was like, we need a story time. So a few years ago, I guess I got to say several at this point, pre-pandemic, back when they were doing press trips and all the good stuff, NBC invited, this is how far back it was. NBC invited me to fly from Atlanta to Los Angeles to visit the set of the Carmichael Show and to interview the cast of the Carmichael Show. So it was Gerard Carmichael, it was Amber Stevens West, it was David Alan Grier, it was that lady right there, it was Tiffany Haddish, it was Lil Rel. Excuse the garage door, that's my husband coming back home from the gym. So I'm like, oh my gosh, because the Carmichael Show was my shiznit. So that was my show. And listen, if you're watching this live, talk back to me. Just don't leave me sitting here feeling like I'm talking to myself on the phone. Talk back to me, even if you just say, hey, friend, or just let me know that you used to watch Did you watch the Carmichael Show? Let's do that. Let's make this thing interactive in the least bit, okay? So anyway, so this was my first press trip ever and going to Los Angeles on top of that. So I was sitting on top of the world like Brandy. Okay, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I'm going to LA. So a girl from South Jersey who the biggest move in my life was going to Georgia. So I was so excited. And I absolutely loved this show. I absolutely loved every cast member on this show. Like Loretta Devine, that's Auntie from Waiting to Exhale. Turned around and was switching after she gave Gregory Hines that food. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Y'all, so we get there. So we're doing all the interviews. First, I interviewed Gerard and Amber Stevens West. That was Gerard and the girl who played his girlfriend on the show. Then they moved me over and I see y'all, hey. So then they moved me into, first I was in the bedroom of the set and I interviewed Gerard and Amber. Then they moved me to the kitchen set where I interviewed Tiffany Haddish and Lil Rel. And when I walked in, at the time I had like this little blunt haircut. And I had tried to put on red lipstick because I told y'all I don't know how to wear makeup. But I'm like, I'm in LA, so I got to like kind of jazz it up a little bit. So I had put on some red lipstick. Y'all, why when I walked in, Tiffany Haddish was like, oh, girl, I thought you was Taraji P. Henson. Tiffany Haddish told me she thought I was Taraji P. Henson from Hidden Figures. Now, that might be like, but go back and look at that. Let me show you this picture again because that mess still haunts me to this day. Look. Remember when Taraji was in Hidden Figures and she had the glasses and the lipstick? That was the moment I knew Tiffany Haddish wasn't shit. But anyway, so I had a good time with Tiffany and Lil Rel. Because, you know, Tiffany is Tiffany and Lil Rel was, you know, he was chunky Lil Rel at the time. So he was jolly. He was fun. All right. So then they take me into the living room. And everybody know the living room set from the Carmichael Show. Like, that was where they did most of the filming for this show. And I walk in and I see the David Alan Grier. We talking in living color, David Alan Grier. And there is Miss Loretta Devine. the dream girl, Loretta Devine, the waiting to exhale, Loretta Devine, and everything in between, okay? Loretta Devine. My dear, all the good things, Loretta Devine. So I come in, and it's me, and it's some other members of the press. It just wasn't like a, hey, Zavi, you come and only you. It was like a group. It was a group of us. And so it was me, and it was another girl in there that does press. I'm not saying her name because she don't even deserve none of the air, none of my syllables. She don't deserve none of that. And I'm going to tell you why later. So stay tuned. Just let me know you locked in. Just say, friend, I'm locked in, because I'm going to tell you why this girl don't deserve my breath. And it may be Merry Fistmas when I see her, just depending on how much extra money I got in my emergency fund to bail me out of jail. I ain't sure yet. I'm deciding on that. But the God is still working on me. Okay. So anyway, I go in, I sit down. And I'm nervous, like, you know, the bubble gut nervous. You feel the butterflies in the sky, all in your belly. So I was like, okay. So I'm sitting down, and I'm like, all right. So, you know, everybody's asking their little individual questions or whatever. So now it's my turn. So I was like, Miss Devine, I was like, you know, with your resume, what made you say yes to an unknown Gerard Carmichael to star as his mother on this sitcom? Because at the time, people was like, who the is Gerard Carmichael, who got a show on NBC? Like, where'd he come from? At least that's the way I felt. So I'm like, somebody with a resume like you agrees to play his mom on a show of someone who a lot of people didn't even know existed. So I was like, what made you take this role? Loretta looked at David Alan Grier and said, David, why is she talking to me like I'm a white woman? So David is like, you know, he, sweet of a gentleman as he is, he was just like, you know, like kind of like, you know, like, chill out, Loretta. And she was like, and he was like, I mean, she was like, no. Why is she talking to me like a white woman? Now, the last time I checked, I was fully melanated. And at the very least, if I'm talking to you like a white woman, it's probably because my voice had code switched a little bit, because, you know, I be trying to tap into my professional voice. Because, see, if I was talking to y'all like, if I was talking to her the way I talk to y'all, I'd be like, so, Miss Loretta, like, why is you up in this thing? But I was like, you know, Miss Devine, you know, what made you decide to take this role? Because, you know, y'all know I could give them the voice. Why is she talking to me like I'm a white woman? So now, I felt this big. Because this is my first press trip. I am in Los Angeles. I am talking to a legendary actress, and she can sing a little bit. She can yin yang a little something. When I tell you that woman minimized me so bad, she minimized me so bad. She embarrassed me so bad. She crunched. Remember back in the day when people like crunch? She crunched me so bad. So David is still trying to be the gentleman that he is, like, eh. So I'm sitting there like, what the entire... So she turns around and she goes, do you have bills? And I was like, yes, ma'am. Do you have a mortgage? I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, well, why would you ask me something like, why would I take a job? I got bills to pay. Yo. I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to pop out and be like, you just got punked. Because I could not believe the woman that I had loved and had held in my spirit as my TV actress auntie was chewing me up, not only in front of my press peers, in front of David Alan Grier, and in front of Jesus. Why would you ask me that? And I was just like, you know, I just was wondering, you know, what would make you. So then David, you know, eventually like intervened and tried to clean it up. And then I was just like, after like, I feel like if I knew it wouldn't have ruined my career, I probably would have cussed her the entire hell out, because I just felt, you know, when something catch you off guard so bad, you get home and you be like, oh, I should have been like, well, did you take the role because you behind in your bills? Did you take the role because you finna get evicted? Like, you know, when you get home and you start thinking to yourself what you should have said. But I know I wasn't going to say none of that, because at the end of the day, I was raised to have respect for people, even if they don't deserve it, right? And I was like, dang, that hurt my feelings so bad. So now the rest of the day, I feel dumb and crunchy in the midst of all the rest of the press people, because she chewed me up. So then the girl, who I won't give dust, came in behind me and was like she basically like tried to piggyback or try to basically step on my back of what happened to me to basically kiss her behind. Like, but you a whole legend, you know, Miss Loretta Devine and blah, 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 blah. Of course you would take this role. So I am carrying a shroud of embarrassment the rest of the entire day. Because, you know, when you go to bed, you give it to God, you go to sleep, and then you get up the next day and try to start fresh. But that may have been, it was, without a doubt, the most embarrassing experience I have ever had interviewing anyone, anywhere, anytime, any place, ever, y'all. And I have interviewed people on my podcast who would not. Donnell Jones, Where I Want to Be is my lifetime jam. But let me tell you something about Donnell Jones. Donnell Jones couldn't get me to go outside on my front porch and interview him today, because he was the driest. He had the most stank attitude ever of me interviewing someone, and it was never as bad as this. I wouldn't even compare the two. This is someone I had admiration for. This is someone that I held in high regard. You know, the only thing that could hurt me more than Loretta Devine showing out on me in an interview is if Jennifer Lewis showed out on me in an interview. But guess what? Jennifer Lewis would never do that, because that's a high, classy lady. She supports ice cream combos. She comments on my stuff. She supports what I do. She supports my brand. So Jennifer Lewis would never do that to me. But Loretta Devine, this lady right here, that little crunchy lady right there, look at her wig just trying to jump off her head. Y'all, she hurt my heart that day. So so as we go on. So I experienced that. I could not wait to get back to my hotel room to call my husband and tell my husband what this lady did to me and how bad and embarrassing. And of course, he's speaking life into me. He like, listen, it's all right. You know, that's her ignorance. That's her loss. She didn't even realize what a nice person you was, or how you was trying to basically like give her love and show her reverence as to why she would. Okay. So anyway, fast forward I'm going to say about 3 months later, I'm just minding my Black-owned business. I'm out here trying to push these stories out. I'm trying to convince y'all to read my website so I can continue to take care of me and my family. And I receive an email. And this is why I will always stand 10 toes down and go hard in the paint for my ICC friends. Y'all, my friends, some of y'all know me personally. Like we know each other, we grew up together, or we work together, or we just, you in my friend circle. And a lot of y'all have became my online family. And I don't take that for granted. I do not take it lightly. If I call you friend, I mean it. If I call you best friend, I mean it. And the reason being is y'all always got my back and my front, even when I ain't looking. 3 months later, I almost didn't put up enough fingers. 3 months later, I receive an email from one of the friends because when I got back from LA, I had to tell somebody what happened to me. I had to tell them this story because it was just on my heart. Like, y'all will not believe what this lady did to me, because I know y'all thought she was a good woman like I thought she was a good woman, but I'm about to tell you. 3 months later, I'm working. I get an email. The email said, friend. I said, uh-oh, what's going on? This email said, friend, I'm listening to this interview with Loretta Devine, and I think she talking about you. What? Friend, I'm listening to this interview and I think Loretta Devine is talking about you. I wrote back and said, send me the link expeditiously. Y'all, number one, you'll never guess who she was doing an interview with, but I'm sure y'all will because y'all my friends. Yes, she was doing an interview with Dust. With the Dusty. Remember the one that I wouldn't pay no dust? She was doing an interview with the Dusty. Now let me rewind and give you a little background on the Dusty. The Dusty was in my face the entire trip. Oh, girl, I just love me some ice cream combos. Girl, you so cool. I am so glad the Lord brought us together and gave us the opportunity to meet each other on the blah, 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 blah. Just like this, the whole trip. Mind you, she had a leg injury. She was hobbling on one leg. I'm walking slow just so she can keep up with the group. Because the rest of them people didn't care about her. Girl, they was strolling through the streets of LA. And I'm doing this. Girl, come on, girl. Come on. Till after she played me in front of Loretta Devine. Then after that, I had to kind of give her the cold shoulder. But I'm showing this girl grace. I'm being kind to her. When it's time for us to eat, we sitting together. When it's time for us to have lunch, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we sitting together. We riding on in the Sprinter vans. She always plopping down next to me, invading my personal space because, she was a little, she was fluffy. But ain't nothing wrong with being fluffy because I'm fluffy now. So she was interviewing with Dusty. Let me tell you about my friend. My friend was like, here's the link to the interview and go to the such and such mark. I ain't even got to sit through all the nonsense to get to the part where I need to get to. My friend said, go to the such and such mark. So I pull it up against my better judgment because I don't know why. I just will look at something that I know that's going to upset me, but I needed to know what was being said about me out here in these streets. So this particular person was interviewing her. And she was like, yeah, you've had roles on this, because, I was there that time. That girl had asked you, why did you take the job on the Carmichael Show? She was like, who don't have bills? Loretta Boomquisha Devine said verbatim. Can you believe she asked me that dumb shit? Y'all, my mouth was like this. Loretta Devine was like, can you believe she asked me that dumb shit? Like, who ain't got no bill? If you need a job, who ain't gonna take a job? And the girl was like, I know, right? She was like, and in media asking a question like that? Nicole, thank you so much for the stars, baby. You kind of calming down my spirit a little bit. I appreciate that. Loretta Devine said, can you believe? Nah. Look, don't leave me, Lawanda. Can you believe? Loretta Devine said, can you believe she asked me that dumb shit? I was triggered all over again. That is the moment that I decided that Dusty may have to get Merry Fistmas. What? First of all, you could have did your entire interview without mentioning me, that situation out in LA, or whatever happened at all. She literally reached back to get that, to have some content. Okay. I was like, okay, I feel like Denzel Washington in Training Day. I'm putting cases on all you. I'm putting cases on all y'all. Dust. Then to add insult to injury, years later, because my great-grandmother raised me. Some of y'all don't know that. My mom passed away when I was 5 years old. My grandmother was still working full-time, so I got passed up to my great-grandmother. I was raised by my great-grandmother, so I have a lot of old school values sprinkled with some new school ratchet, right? So my grandma always taught me, respect people, handle yourself accordingly, despite what's going on around you, but she also reminded me that when women used to play with her, she would go in the house and get her shotgun. Okay? Because she was a woman of God, and if she needed to, she would help you meet him a little sooner than you needed to or expected to. You get what I'm saying? So I got those old school values, but it was just like, sorry, let me focus. She taught me forgiveness. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to walk around holding, well, no, I ain't there. But I say all that to say that years later, Netflix, thank you for the stars, Sierra. You soothed my soul. Thank you, baby. Thank you for soothing my soul. Years later, Netflix came out with this show called The Family Reunion or Family Reunion, something on Netflix, starring Tia Mowry and this lady. And I'm like, oh, Black programming, because you know. I'm like, okay, something for the people. Thank you, Naisha, for the stars. Y'all trying to soothe my soul. Thank you for helping me. So I'm like, oh, family reunion. Okay, let me write about this. This sounds like it might be a good thing despite the lady. But I'm like, I'm happy for Tia. I'm happy for the rest of the cast members. And Netflix is bringing some Black programming. I'm with this. I'm with it. I wrote a story about the show coming to Netflix. And when I wrote a story about the show coming to Netflix, in my featured image, y'all know anytime I write a story, I have a featured image, right? And thank you, Terry, for the stars. Y'all just trying to heal my inner child. I promise. I appreciate y'all so much. But y'all know anytime I write a post, a blog post, I have my featured images, right? So for Family Reunion, I was writing about how Netflix was going to have this show. It was going to star Tia Mowry and it was going to star this lady. So I had Tia Mowry and I had this lady side by side as my featured image. Tell me why. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me why. Tell me why I got a letter from a lawyer where I got sued for using the photo of this lady on my blog post. I said, damn it, if this lady ain't a thorn in my shoe, no, a thorn in my side and a rock in my shoe. Thank you for the stars, Kadisha. You healing me, baby. Thank you. Thank you, 007. I appreciate y'all for these stars. Y'all showering a sister today. I need this healing. Thank you. Why I got sued? I said, my attorney called me. He was like, yeah, he was like, it looks like you being sued over a photo. So I'm like, first thing I want to know is who the photo of. Because I always, y'all, the thing is that really, really chews my soul up is I try to dot every I and cross every T. Don't nobody follow the rules of blogging and media more than me. But I always, the minute I cross the street, I'm fine for jaywalking. Or if I'm driving, I get a ticket for driving too fast. When I'm always trying to follow the rules. I said, who is the picture of? My attorney said, this lady. I said, I know you fucking lying. I just literally started yelling in the phone, yo, I hate this lady so much. And God forgive me because I don't hate people. I feel the feelings of hatred sometimes, but I try my best not to hate people. My great-grandmom always told me you're not supposed to hate people. She was like, it may feel like it, but you're not supposed to. So it feel like it. But I'm not claiming it because I don't want God to frown upon me. But I literally yelled in the phone, yo, I hate this lady. So now I'm paying my attorney to fight and go back and forth with this legal firm who is trying to sue me. Thank you for more stars. Naisha said, girl, let me help you with these lawsuits. Who, over a picture of her? A photo of her? Mind you, it was a headshot. Headshots are used for media. Now, I am well enough to, I am intelligent enough to know. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you for the stars, Sierra. I am intelligent enough to know that she did not initiate that lawsuit. All she did was pose for the picture. This the photographer. This the photographer trying to come get some shmoney. But it's the fact that it was her. I wouldn't be surprised if I get a cease and desist over this story time, because that's just how ugly and messy she is. So now going forward from this point, like from that point forward, I don't care if she the star of the show. I don't care if she the only person in the show. You will not see a photo of this woman nowhere about me. If she's starring in a movie, I'm going to tell you the person who actually put the film in the camera for them to film the show before I mention her name. I won't do it. I won't do it. This lady is nothing but bad luck for me. As soon as I finish this story time, I'm going to take a moment and go in my prayer closet to pray off whatever I attracted from even telling y'all this story time today. This lady is bad news for me in every way, shape, or form. And it just irks my soul when I hear people just praise her and talk about what a legend she is. And child, thank you, Derek. Reezy, that's my Reezy. But, you know, I'm going to call him Derek for the rest of y'all in here. But that's my Reezy. Thank you for the stars. But, no, I can't. So some of you may be able to understand. Leilani, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. That is so sweet. So some of you may have a better understanding of, why anything regarding this woman or just related to this woman triggers the entire melanation out of me. Yeah. So that's that, y'all. Are y'all proud of me? Because y'all was like, we want a story time. And I put everything down. And I said, I'm giving this. Because the last time I promised a story time, and it took like almost a month before I gave it to y'all. But I said, no. If the friends tell me to do something and I'm able to do it, I'm going to do it right then and there. So, yeah. So, I just want y'all to know what this lady had did to me. Child, let me tell you something. And what's crazy is, let me give y'all this one little last lesson. Sometimes we be carrying stuff against people who don't even remember we exist. I'm pretty sure Loretta Devine don't even know who I am. Somebody could go to her and be like, you did Xavi wrong. And she'll be like, who? Baby, who? You know, sometimes people will, it's just who they are. They will mistreat you. They will hurt your feelings. They will disrespect or discount you and go on about their day. And it was just a blip in the history of their life, right? They couldn't care less. But then you are the one that's still carrying it, right? I'm sure Dusty probably don't even remember she did that to me. Well, maybe, I don't know how many other people she doing dirty. Dusty may not even remember she did that to me. This lady may not even remember she did that to me. But I remember. And the reason why I tend to make sure I remember is so I don't allow history to repeat itself twice. When Dusty hobbling and hey girl, trying to sit down and eat with me, I'm sorry. This spot is taken. Well, who's sitting there? Jesus. And the other 12 seats at the table, them for the disciples. You can't sit with me today. When they reach out to me, you think I haven't received an email that said, hey, would you like to interview this lady for this particular show? Nope. No, thank you. Sorry. So that's why I don't allow you to get me more than once. You ain't gonna get me more than once. You're not gonna get me more than once. But what I will say is, just try not to, after all this, I'm gonna tell somebody, don't hang on to things and don't harbor things. Listen, I did this so you wouldn't have to go through it, okay? I'm walking this walk so you don't have to walk this walk. Be better than me. Be better than me. Because listen, I don't think about this lady. I don't think about Dusty. I don't think about none of this stuff until it come across my desk or come across my face. And then it's like a little. So y'all Legendary Larry said, Legendary Larry, no, Legend Larry said, I just Googled Dusty. Just saying. But anyway, yeah. I got one of those little, you know, the little patchy things that the teenagers put on their pimples? My daughter uses them all the time. And I was like, I'm going to try. Because, you know, I be having elder acne. So I was like, I'm going to try. So that's what's on my chin, if anything on my chin looks weird. But yeah, I'm about to read y'all comments. Terry said, head into Google after this live. Yeah, so that's Dusty. But y'all don't go bothering these people. Oh, so let me tell you what I did. I blocked everybody. Because it got to the point where I saw other people who didn't know what had been done to me, like reposting people into my timeline and all that. I got to block y'all too. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. So, with that being said, I guess I'll go do some work now. But now that you are fully aware of my triggers, now that you are fully aware of my triggers, I will go do some work now. But yes, that is my Loretta Devine story time. Oh, I said her name. Oh, I felt a piece of lightning go up my back. But I love you all so much. Thank you for sitting with me for this Saturday story time. Thank you to all the beautiful best friends who sent me stars today. I appreciate it, y'all. Y'all was throwing them stars at me like, baby, heal, heal, heal. So, but anyway, all right. I'm sorry I'm rambling. But if y'all want to keep talking, just call me. Because, you know, I'll sit on the phone all day. All right. Love y'all. Bye.